Oh
that one's
God.
drilled deep to right field.
Hurts going deep for it all. Devontae Smith.
He has been fantastic in this fourth.
Wow.
A break in on goal, and he scores.
Welcome to this special edition on Halloween of Two Mics All Sports. I'm your host, Zach Chapey, joined by my co-host, Joe Brawl. What's going on, man?
What's up, Zach? How you doing? Happy Halloween.
Yes, indeed. Happy Halloween. I'm good. So today for this episode, we are going to be talking about the Sixers and the Flyers. Obviously, they've been very fun to watch these past few weeks, or just this week in general, the way they've been playing. So first and foremost, we're going to kick off with the Flyers. Obviously, they had another great win last night against the Nashville Predators by the final score of 4-1. First and foremost, I want to highlight the player that I really caught my eye, the newest addition, Trevor Zegras. How have you felt about him and the impact he's made already with this team, and how this team's been the success he has been bouncing with the rest of the team?
Trevor Zegras is that player who everybody was kind of skeptical about at the beginning of the season. Yes, like we said in our Flyers prediction video, he had the potential. We've seen it earlier in his career. Then he got riddled by injuries, which kind of gave us that speculation. Is he going to be that rookie year, his second year, Trevor Zegras, or is he going to be the past few years where he hasn't been that elite goal or even assist leader that he's doing these past 3-4 games that the Tampa Flyers have been on? He's had 12 points in the last 10 games. He is a star. Him, Matvey, Konechny, Tippett, Drysdale, Forrester, all of them. They just connect together, and they're making something brew in South Philly when nobody thought it could, since it's a rebuild year.
Yeah, exactly. And I just been impressed off the bat with his leadership and stuff like that. And then also, what he's done to this power play is unbelievable. It was shown last night. They've been throwing out the second line the past few games first, and it showed last night. 3 seconds into a power play, one-timer to Zegras, he buries it. When in the past 2 or 3 years have we seen a Flyers power play be that quick and that efficient? And I knew he was Philly made, bro, the second he was punching the crap out of those Pittsburgh Penguins, bro, because fuck the Penguins.
That was just sorry for cutting you off, but that brought out, like, I just felt so prideful in being a fan of the team when the three of them pulled, so I can't even think of his name right now, pulled him off the file and just started going ham on him, beating him up. Like you can't, like, that's the brotherly love that Philly's all about. That's having somebody's back, not just letting him just sit there and get punched. Nah, you single a guy out of the pile and you beat him up. I posted on my story. We're back to being the Broad Street Bullies. They don't care who you are. They're gonna finish the hits. They're gonna finish the checks, and fuck you. We might be a young team. It might be a rebuild season, but we're gonna make you earn the wins. We're not just gonna go down easy. And good luck.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a breath of fresh air, in my opinion, because we haven't seen this much of a fight out of a Phillies team in a while. Like, the last time I saw someone who was always willing to fight was probably like Wayne Simmons, realistically, if you think about it. And he just bring that instant spark, and then the number one thing that he's been able to do is been a consistent playmaker. If he's not scoring goals, he's getting assists. I think he has close to, or has 10 assists. I think he has 9 assists right now, 4 goals on the season. That's incredible for this early in the season, and just his willingness to be involved in every single play, his want to just make this team better day by day, and it's showing why they're 6-3-1, while they should be 7. They should be 7-3 and 7-3-0. But that's besides the point, because that Hurricanes game, that was unbelievable. So, but then I also want to talk to you about. Let's just dive into this Pittsburgh game, because obviously last night was a great win, but that Pittsburgh Philly game, that was an instant classic for the ages, in my opinion. So obviously the game flow, Pittsburgh went out first, then Bobby Brink ties it up on the power play, then we take the lead with Travis Konechny, I believe, and then Sidney Crosby just scores on one of the most wonky goals ever to tie the game up at 2 apiece, and then we go to overtime. Zegras unfortunately is offsides, and then Tyson Forster buries it, but it does not count. And then it was just craziness after that. Zegras pulling the Pittsburgh Penguins guy helmet off, and then it just completely goes crazy. And then when he got sent to the locker room, it sucked because he's our best guy. But it didn't even matter. Obviously, between Matvey, his goal was great. But then can we talk about Bobby Brink's shootout goal? That might have been the best hockey work, like stick with the puck I've seen in a while, especially for a guy this young. So, what were your just thoughts on that game and especially the shootout?
It was good to see Erickson. He's looked clean in his past few starts. Both two big shootout victories. Erickson's good in a shootout. Um, then especially a strong Pittsburgh team. They think they had two, maybe three losses going into that game against the Flyers.
They're currently the best team in the NHL right now. So
yeah, so getting a big win against them in the Metropolitan Division and just rivalry in general, because it is the Battle of Pennsylvania. So it ain't friendly. You're only a short, 2-3 hour car ride from each other. It's the equivalent for the NFL's Eagles Dallas.
Yeah.
Or the MLB Phillies Mets Phillies Braves. So it's just great to get that win over Pittsburgh. And I don't know if you saw what Zegras in a post-game interview was saying him and Brink have been working on those shootout type shots. And he was so proud of his teammates, especially in Brink on that shot. He even said it was unbelievable on how he made that shot. Like, he couldn't even believe it.
Yeah. I think it's just the elevation and the confidence Zegras has just become a leader day one. Like, he's just as young as these guys. Like, he's younger than freaking Konechny and all these other guys. But the leadership he's brought to this team has been so meaningful, especially for these younger guys. Two guys in particular, or three guys in particular that have really stood out to me. Bobby Brink, Tyson Forster, and his former Anaheim teammate, Jamie Drysdale, who got on the board last night. All three of those just seem like they've been taking major steps, and it just shows throughout the team and the play they've been able to give day in and day out. And I just think it's a credit to that. But then we talk about, obviously, Earson. He's hurt now, which sucks to say the least. And now Vladar's the number one goalie. But can we talk about how impressive Vladar has been so far this season? How are you how are you feeling about him and how he's had an impressive start to start the season?
I'm just gonna do what I've been doing most of this podcast so far and go back to the season prediction video that we made. I said in that video, one of these guys got to step up, if not both of them, for the starting goalie job. And I think Vladar has really stepped up. I was a big fan of him in the first few games, where he gave up he only allows like 1 or 2 goals a game. It keeps you in the fight, especially when you go into these later period games like last night where the Flyers got a power play. Their first one was until the third period. So you get that power play early on. You get some goals for your goalie. He's feeling better about himself, knowing that his efforts giving you to win. So I'm glad to see Vladar stepping up in his role, especially now with Erickson out. But Erickson, if it wasn't for these last 2 games he had with the shootout victories, I would have kept saying he's a straightaway backup. I went to the game against Winnipeg, or was it Winnipeg that they lost to?
I believe so,
but,
yes.
Yeah, I went to that game. He let up 5 goals. And they had a goal. And then he gave up one in the next 2 minutes. It looked like old Flyers hockey. Get a goal, ride your high for a minute, and then the other team shoots back and it was pointless. All your momentum's gone. So I think Vladar gives this team that edge that nobody really expected him. Even me, I still think we need a long-term starting goalie, but Vladar is right now stepping into that role pretty well.
Yeah, and the way I look at things with hockey, it's like if you have a good enough goaltender that can win you games, the offense, if you've built a good enough offense, it's gonna work out between the two of them very well, and it has so far. Whenever Vladar plays, like you said, it's only been 1 to 2 goals. 1 to 2 goals in a sense, you have a chance in a hockey game. If your goaltender is only giving up 1 to 2 a game, sometimes even 0, like then you have a chance to go out and win these games. That's exactly what the Flyers are doing. And then even last night was a perfect example. They didn't score at all in the first period, neither team. Nashville was dominating with shots, but Vladar was just completely stoning them, not letting any of them get past them. And then the offense finally has it back in the second period with Zegras and Drysdale scoring to pretty much, I think, put the game and like put it was the game over at that point because Nashville had so many opportunities at that point to just get on the board. They did get on the board after that 2-0, but it just seemed like we scored that one and then we scored that next one a few minutes later with Drysdale. It just took any energy that Nashville had completely out of the door. Nashville's not even a bad team. They've built a pretty good roster over the past few years. So just to get these good wins against teams that are pretty good and like honestly, like the way you're shaping up right now, you eventually want to be like these teams. Like they could stay competitive with the reigning Stanley Cup champions. They beat the best team currently in the NHL right now. You get these good wins after good wins, they're eventually going to stack up and it's going to make your record look really well. And I'm just impressed. The best thing that you want from a young team is that you're excited. They look like you have future stars in the making. And and the icing on the cake is that they're winning games. So that's exactly what they're doing. It's a perfect formula right now. And the way it looks right now, once Matvey starts to hit his stride, because he's looked better as of late. Like he had a great assist to lead, to lead up to a goal last night, or I think it was like the night before, something like that. And then you just have other guys stepping up. Tyson Forrester finally has stepped up this year. Like I said, Bobby Brink continues to look better on the power play opportunities whenever he has the chance to get the puck on his stick. And then your defense hasn't been that bad between Drysdale, Sanheim, and others. And then the best of all, you finally have a goaltending that you can believe in for now. Like that's been their problem the past few years, ever since Carter Hart went away. Earson was good, but it wasn't a guy you could really put that much belief into because you never know what version you were going to get him to night to base. You knew he was a great backup, maybe one of the best, but you didn't know what you can get out of him on a nightly basis as a starter. So I think it's a great sign for what they're showing us right now, and I'm just excited to see what's ahead. They got a game against Toronto tomorrow on Saturday, and they got a back-to-back with Calgary. You win those two games right there, you're looking at a 9-3 record right now. And I think, like I said, you stack up wins early in the season, they're only going to help you more later down the road when you need them. So,
Yeah, and home games are very important, and the Flyers have a heavy homestand on the first half of the season. They're 6-1 at home, so that's good. And you get these wins at home now, you get half of the wins away come the second half, you might sneak into that wild card position.
yeah. And then let me ask you this before we move on to the Sixers. What are your thoughts so far on Rick Tocchet so far and what he's done as the coach of the Flyers so far?
He's doing a good job. He's built a young team. You can't really go wrong. This team with Torts was really strict. Torts didn't really like fun. He liked hard, basic hockey. I just see the guys skating a little bit more loosely. Now, sure, Tocchet is getting it's not letting them do everything. Like the one game, I think the Flyers had 5 or 6 penalties, and Tocchet was like, "All right, we need to settle this," and they haven't. The Flyers haven't forced that many penalties as of late, which is good. It's showing improvement and showing that coaching can be fun, but also but serious at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like he said, he's been dealt with a tough hand right now, and he's just made this team look like it's already a team that could get you to the playoffs. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but how together they already seem to compare to years past is a great sign. And you obviously know Matvey and John Tortorella really didn't get together. He already seems like he's bought in. The best thing you want to do with a young team as a new coach is to get your team bought into this system, get them bought into this culture regime, and there seems like they're doing that, and it shows every single night they go out there. They might be losing every now and then, but they're staying competitive in these games. I really can't recall if there's been a time where they've really been dominated, except for that Winnipeg game like you mentioned. But it's just impressive to see. But now we're gonna move into another team that is also very young loaded, but has also been impressive. We're gonna talk about the undefeated 4-0 76ers. How are you feeling about them right now?
I'm confident. They have a game tonight against the Celtics. I think at 7:00 in Xfinity Mobile Arena, and it was when we played Boston earlier this year. It was a great game. It was back and forth, and they're coming off a rest day after the back-to-back with against the Magic, and I forget the other team.
It was the
Charlotte
Washington Wizards.
Wizards and the Magic,
Yeah.
and they showed out. Even in the game where they were tired, they played VJ Edgecombe. Man, I'm sorry because I know Zach gave out his preseason predictions. I wasn't able to get mine out in time, but VJ Edgecombe was probably going to be my front runner for Rookie of the Year. He is a young star. He is already on top of Sixers record books, even from the first game of the season. And this team's not even fully healthy yet. Jared McCain's still out with injury, and Embiid's still dealing with his injuries, of course. When is that surprising anybody? But then you have your leaders in Maxey and VJ Edgecombe stepping up into that role. So I really like this team, and this is looking like the old 76ers with Simmons, Butler, and Embiid. Like, this core is really good, and I really think they could go far if they stay healthy and consistent.
Yeah. And then I just want to speak to this because I was actually at Sixers Magic on Monday night, and that style of basketball they were playing was absolutely incredible. VJ Edgecombe's athleticism completely jumps off the charts. Between his defensive ability, he went up and blocked Paolo Banchero. Like, he got up like 10 feet in the air and just completely blocked the crap out of it. Then he's going down the court. He's not dunking it like crazy, but he's putting up these crazy layups and stuff like that. And he already looks like he has early playmaking. And he has a three-point shot. Like, I saw this stat after we beat Boston. He already has, like, after his first career game, he tied Ben Simmons with the amount of three-pointers they had in their career, which I thought was pretty funny. So, and then Tyrese Maxey, man, he's looked like an MVP candidate so far. So this is some of his games. He's had 40 in the first game of the year, 28. That's his lowest so far. 43 on Monday night against the Magic. There was already MVP chance. Yeah, bro. They were great when he was at the free throw line, and then against Washington, I think he had about 30. He had 39. Yeah.
39, yeah.
He's averaging 37 points per game in the first 4 games of the season. That's absolutely incredible. He's taken the leadership role of this team by storm, and it's only going to get better. He has an amazing three-point game. His ability to get to the rim and score is one of the best, if not the best in the league. And that leadership he has, that happy-go guy, it translates throughout the locker room because you have a guy Trenton Walford, who we brought in, who's good friends with him, Edgecombe, and then once McCain gets back, between Edgecombe, McCain, and Maxey, those are just guys who are just happy to be there every day. They're willing to work. They're ready to go. And McCain's actually back to practicing, as a matter of fact. So we should be expecting him maybe sooner rather than later. And then I know there's another player you forgot to mention. But I don't want to mention him, but it has to be mentioned. Paul George should be back sometime next week. I know, and then obviously Embiid. But if I can be honest with you, this team just plays better without Joel Embiid. It's shown. They played well.
Yeah, all these comebacks are coming back, and Embiid's not even on the court.
No.
I'm sorry, but he had a good 28, I think, one game the other night, but where was he late?
25 points. 25 points in 20 minutes, yeah.
Sorry, but, like, he's not there come late games. So, like, later, he's a good star player, but I'm talking to people, like, where's Embiid at? Has he played any minutes yet? And I'm like, yeah, he's played the 20 minutes. How many points? Like 12. Oh, that's not bad. For somebody who's the face of this team and is supposed to be bringing up these young guys and you want to win a championship, you need to do a lot more. He needs to be doing what Maxey's doing. He needs to at least be getting the rebounds and making these stars shine and making it a triple threat. Because if you can't leave double team all of them. And if you go to double team one, the other one's going to be wide open.
Yeah.
In a one-on-one situation, Edgecombe, Maxey, and Embiid, if Embiid plays right, blow by you, and just get the easy layup or 2, or even a step back 3.
Exactly. I think what Embiid's problem is right now, whenever he's on the court, they play a style of basketball revolving around him. That can't be the case anymore. This offense isn't built around Joel Embiid. Embiid, I'm sorry, has to be a traditional center now. He has to be the guy that catches the ball in the paint and gets points like that. He should be having double-digit rebounds a night. I know they're trying to rev him back up to full capacity and stuff like that. Hence, they're playing him these 20-minute games. But I don't even see him trying to do anything on the defensive end. Like, he'll try to go down and shoot a layup or stuff like that. And then once he falls on the ground, it takes him a good 2 minutes to get up off the ground. And it's an easy 5-on-4 for the other team. So that's frustrating off the bat. And then a guy who's been playing in his role, Adem Bona, had 5 blocks after he came in at the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter, had 5 blocks, which was, he only had 2 points, but those blocks all were impactful. He's been great. And then the strategy that you talk about those 3 all working together, the strategy that's been working right now that they've been executing in every game, Maxey, Edgecombe being your main guys, and then it's a different player stepping up every night. Kelly Oubre against the Orlando Magic was incredible. Had 25 points. He had 10 rebounds. 25, 10, and I think 4. Then, in Washington, Quentin Grimes has been coming off the bench. Quentin Grimes could be a 6th Man of the Year candidate the way he's playing right now. Because he came in, I think he finished with 23 points and came into the game like late in the fourth quarter with only like 7. He had the game winner against Charlotte. He's looked great. He's been efficient from the 3-point line. Yes, there's a lot of guards on this team, but it doesn't seem to matter right now. Obviously, there's going to be issues that come up at the end. There's always going to be issues. They're not going to be perfect at the end of the day. But to look this good right now and to be very efficient is a great sign right now. And then I'm just happy to see it because I've not been excited about Sixers basketball obviously last year because they didn't get their 4th win until at the end of November last year. So that tells you everything you need to know. And then this team just looks like they're connected like that. Nick Nurse seems like when he actually takes Embiid out of the game, knows how to run a balanced offense that looks efficient and looks equipped to beat any team. And then I think the Washington game showed you what this team can be. Every single game they've come back from different deficits, except for the Magic game, because the Magic game that was just an A+ game. Obviously, the one weakness they have right now is playing very weak in the third quarter. That's something they're going to have to fix if they want to be one of these top teams in the East. But just the willingness for them to want to play in the fourth quarter is insane. But then I also go back to the third quarter. And Bede's still technically playing early in the third quarter. And if you're running a balanced offense around him and he's just chucking up 3-pointers, which I'm getting sick and tired of, you're 7 foot, buddy. You're not Steph Curry shooting from the top of the key, bro. Like, I don't know who you think you are. Obviously, I think he had 5 threes against Charlotte, or like 3 in the first quarter early against Charlotte. But he's not knocking them down at a consistent base that he can feel the need to just stand there and just completely mess with this offense. Adem Bona plays his role perfectly and does it with a perfection. He's 6'10", and he's only going to get better with the more opportunities he gets. It's that simple. And then Justin Edwards, who was also great against Charlotte, he came in and had, I think, 9, 12 points, a couple of clutch threes. It's just the offense they're running right now is what these other teams in the association are, what has got them to be so successful. It's not about the center with this team anymore. It's about the guards you have. Realistically, Maxey and Edgecombe, the way they're playing right now, this might be a hot take, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. If they keep playing like this, they're going to be in the conversation for best backcourt in the NBA by next year. It's that plain simple. So, but let me ask you this: what do you like? So we have all these guys. There's a lot of guards. When Jared McCain comes back, how would you adjust the lineup? Would you keep Grimes on the bench, or are you putting him up into the starting lineup and throwing McCain as a 6-man? Just let me hear what's the scenarios you have once McCain comes back.
When McCain comes back, I say you have to play him as a 6-man because you don't want him just thrown in there, getting himself hurt again. You want to ease him into it. Like, this team has been cooking on all cylinders through these first 4 games, so you don't want to mess anything up. Not saying McCain's only going to help that, but still, like, they have a rhythm right now. The rhythm's working perfectly, as I could say, knock on wood. But, like, if McCain's showing out, if he's doing better than Grimes, which we expect him to, because Grimes comes in clutch late. If McCain can do it consistently, yes, he's going to get that starter and Grimes to the 6. But I say, at least when he first comes back, McCain will start off slowly, maybe get like 10 or 12 minutes a game until he's fully healthy and he's back to himself before injury.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what's going to happen. Like, the scenario overall, I think he should come off the bench. They might even throw Grimes and McCain off the bench just to have two great scorers on the bench, but I do think McCain should start as the sixth man. But then let me ask you this then. Like, once Embiid's fully revved up, should he be how many minutes do you want to see him play let me expand the question. Once he's fully revved up, do you still think the Sixers should stick to the game plan they have when he's playing only 20 minutes a night, or do you think they should completely switch and he should be part of the offense or the game 35 minutes a night?
Embiid fully revved up, you can't sit him. He is an MVP caliber player. If he's fully revved up, Maxi's all the way revved up, Edgecomb's being that Rookie of the Year candidate, McCain's hitting his stride, Oubre doing what he does well, there should be no reason he's not playing for 30, 25 to 30 minutes a game. Then you got Bona and Grimes on the bench just shooting lights out and getting those blocks for you. So you shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying he's not fully revved up right now, in which I understand that. But
only 4 games in the season.
Exactly. But when he is, how is his team going to look when he is? That's the big question that looms right now. But they're 4-0. Another great win. Hopefully another great win they have against Boston tonight, 5-0. But that's going to wrap up this episode for now. Joe, do you just want to preview anything that we could see in the future?
Definitely. Game 6 tonight, Dodgers-Toronto. It's been a great series so far, especially the 18-inning game in LA a couple days ago. We will drop a podcast about that, just giving our thoughts about the end of the MLB season and the Phillies in general, and what to expect for the future with free agency coming up. A lot of big names for the Phillies going away. So when the World Series is over, we'll give you our full breakdown on that. Obviously giving you guys updates on the Flyers and Sixers as the season goes throughout. And the Eagles got a bye this week. If you guys want, we'll create a poll saying what Eagles questions do you guys want to hear have answered this week, since it is a bye week. No, there's not that post-week breakdown that we've been doing. And finally, 200 followers on Instagram. So like we did for YouTube with Zach, with the milk, I will have to do a punishment for Instagram since we hit 200. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now let's try to get the 3. What's our new goal, Zach? What do you want to make our new goal?
I'm trying to get to 500 on either one.
500 would.
Yeah.
500 on each.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like Joe said, well, as the time goes on, both of us have just been busy as a whole. That's why we haven't been able to record on a consistent basis as we usually have. And apologies for not recording Thursday Night Football last night. I was busy. Also, I forgot, so apologies for that. But like Joe said, just expect content any day throughout the weeks coming up now. Like, it might be a little bit more balanced when we have time and stuff like that. But for right now, just expect any day in the following weeks for an episode to come out, and it'll just be about what you guys want to hear. So, like, just drop it in the comments in this video, in the shorts that I post and stuff like that. Just tell us what you want us to talk about, because we want to hear you as an audience, and we want to hear what you guys have to say about us, because at the end of the day, we're trying to see if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, just how you feel about what we're saying, because that's what this channel here is for. We're trying to connect with our audience, and we're trying to connect with a even broader audience that we have right now. So, like I said, like, share, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like on this video. Enjoy Halloween, guys, and we will see you later. Peace.